What's up, boys? It's week 12, your commissioner's update. You didn't really think I'd leave you hanging here. I have a full-time job, and that's being your commissioner. So here we go. We're going to get right into it, but first off, a very special day today. It's Chad's birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. John Powers. You're an original Holy Guacamole manager here, and we appreciate everything you bring to the league. But this week, you're going to have your hands full against Anthony. It's a big game, and we'll get into that. But you don't have to worry about any spit on your cake because Mr. Jamar Chase is suspended by Jordy Nelson. Jordy Nelson made sure of that for 1 week and this week. So what a gift on your birthday. Now, last week, we had a lot of close games, and this should have been the game of the week. I should have made it Powers versus Greg, a Monday night showdown. Nail-biting once again for John on Monday night. Greg may have made a mistake sitting Travion Henderson. That might haunt him down the road, but what a Monday night finish. Genty just couldn't get anything going against the Cowboys, and that Raiders offensive line is miserable to run behind. But yeah, nail-biter for all 4 quarters. Now, we are on to week 12, 3 weeks left. We're taking a look at the standings here, and there's a lot of teams at 4-7. Everyone's still in the hunt. Everyone's still got a little bit of a shot here to make playoffs, but Jimmy and Greg, they're at 5-6, separate themselves a bit. 1 or 2 wins could punch their ticket into the dance. On the flip side, Anthony and Obi, they both have clinched a spot in the playoffs, and they're facing off in some pretty good games this week. Anthony versus Powers and Obi versus Stevie. These are the top 4 seeds playing each other. If Obi and Anthony both win, they're going to clinch first round byes. They get that 3-point advantage, which is huge throughout playoffs. So big week here in week 12. And then we have the battle for the dress. And Andy and I are on a collision course for week 14. If Andy loses to Chris this week and I lose to Greg, next week may not even matter. It's going to all come down to week 14. It could come down to, season points. So we shall see how this all plays out. But I've never been more ready before in my life to wear a fucking dress. Let's go. Okay. Now, last week, big numbers by a couple guys last week. If you played these guys, you probably didn't have a good week 11. Yeah, Josh Allen, 6 total touchdowns. He's a beast. And honestly, Carl at 4-7, I had Josh Allen last week go on a tear towards the second half of the year. So watch out. Carl may make a little push for playoffs here if he wins 3 straight. We had Bijan with 31 points, absolute stud after the trade. Shut up, Siri, come on. And then we had Tet, also had a huge game for Powers. He finally broke out for Carolina. And then, of course, every week it seems like this guy's doing work. C-Mac, he is a league winner for Anthony. So 35 points there for that guy. Now we'll take a look at the games here, and I didn't really prepare, honestly, so we're going to just run through these real quick, all right? Greg and I have a matchup here. I'm 4-7, Greg's 5-6. His team is a little bit more superior than mine, but you got to look at Jalen Warren here. We made that trade. I tried to give him Kenneth Gainwell. If Warren sits, Gainwell is going to be a huge play for me. And I was able to pick up Emmanuel Wilson. Andy had first choice, but he didn't make any moves this week. I'm not sure if he's given up or not. Drake London's hurt. We're going to get George Kittle on Monday Night Football to end this thing out. So we'll see what happens. If Greg wins, he really gives himself a good chance to punch his ticket in the playoffs. And then we have the next game here. Obi versus Stevie. A very good matchup here. You got great running backs. Old versus new. Jonathan Taylor versus Derrick Henry. You got Swift versus Montgomery. Old teammates. Love that. Obi's team is old. And we'll see how it works out here. But going to be a good one. Good battle. Juwan Jennings on Monday Night Football to end it for Stevie. See if Brock Bowers can get things going on that terrible Raiders offense against a good Browns defense, who Obi has the Browns defense. Next up, we got Chris versus Andy. Both teams 4-7. I got Chris heavily favored in this one. He's got a better team than Andy for sure. A few question marks here, though. Sam Laporte is out on IR. The trade for Brian Thomas Jr. hasn't really panned out yet. So, Chris going to the well for a tight end. Cade Otton didn't do much for me last week, but that's a waiver wire pickup. You got to look at Rico Dowdle, though, as a great waiver wire addition for Chris halfway through the season. So, this is a good one. If Chris wins, he puts himself right back in the playoff hunt. I fully expect this one to be heavily favored towards Chris. All right, next up we got Jimmy, 5-6 versus Carl, 4-7. Again, watch out for Carl. He's making a little bit of a run here. All right, his team looks all right. George Pickens been on fire lately. He's got to go against Puka. James Cook, Jahmyr Gibbs, the Eagles. Jimmy's team shouldn't be 5-6, but he is. And here we are. So if Jimmy wins, puts himself in a good position, might end Carl's season here. So huge game. And now we get to the game of the week. We got Powers, the birthday boy, versus Anthony. And again, Anthony's without Chase. He made the trade with me. Looks like he's plugging in Alec Pierce, who has been on a little bit of a tear himself. He's a deep threat. He plays every snap, so we'll see what happens. It's going to be a big Junkins game in the Browns with Sanders getting his first start. I'm assuming he's going to have 30 carries or so. Patrick Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson. All right, that's going to be a good one. You got Trey Benson coming back from IR. You got some, wide receivers that can just break one out. Ramo versus Flowers. Egbuka's there. Big mismatch here in tight end. Trey McBride, obviously. I think he's he'd be the number 6 running back or wide receiver if he wasn't a tight end. He's just scoring so many points. You're welcome, John. Advantage, I think, goes to Powers here, as you can see the projections, but it should be a good one and a big one at that. Again, you got first round buys up for grabs this week. So that's it, boys. That's everything I got for you this week. And good luck to everyone in week 12. We'll be at the Brook. Some of us will be at the Brook this Sunday watching the games together, so it'll be fun. All right, boys. Peace out. I'll see you later.